Evening all. Here we are, March the 20th. It's 6:45 of the evening, and I'm at Horton Cliffs. Hunkering down in my shed tonight because it's not a particularly pleasant evening. Hence the going selfie style on my camera, so apologies if not as static and highly professional as I normally am. But yeah, here we go. So Horton Cliffs, middle of March. That spells rays. Always used to start in earnest ray fishing down here, going back years and years and years, back to when I was a teenager. So almost 10 years ago now. I am about 100 yards or so to the Never Eat Shredded Wheat west of the last beach hut. And back in the day, years ago, we used to call it the green patch. Never entirely sure why, because, well, the entire cliff's kind of green, but there we go. I'm sure there was probably a reason at one stage in life. You may be able to see in the background over there, the sea is, it's rough but fishable. It's really good, actually. I'm quite confident. There's a nice bit of sea on. There's a good bit of colour in the water. We've got a high tide at about 9:30. So yeah, super confident. I'm really, really looking forward to it. I was hoping to get a little bit more daylight down here, but I was a bit late out the shop. I was going to do a bit of a panorama so you can see the lay of the land, but well, you just have to come down here and find out for yourself, won't you? So, there's the sea. Like I said, nice bit of sea on. A few waves coming in, a little bit rough. No big horrible swell, which is always the killer for us down there. But this is what I'd call a good sea. It's a force 4 gusting 6 southwest. So anybody sort of looks at the weather forecast and thinks, I wonder if it's fishable. This particular venue on this particular conditions, yes, comfortably fishable. Well, first rod's in the water. That's a sandal and squid wrap on a bar, launched. And I've had a bite already. I've just setting up my second rod. Here's my second rod, look. Not even in the water yet. And yeah, I had a bit of a pull down. There's a bit of bouncing around with the waves, things like that, so just ignore that. But a nice pull down, sort of 3 pulls and a bit of a slack. It's exciting. It's only been out there 5 minutes. I mean, obviously I've got the camera out, so nothing's going to happen again, is it? Why does it always happen? There's this wave. No, that was wave. Don't get too excited, guys. Don't get too excited. Okay, well, you have to take my word for it. What I'll do is I'm going to leave it. Nothing too exciting's happening. I'm going to get the other rig baited up and in the water, and then we'll bring this one in. See what's on there. Right, moment of truth. Have we got a fish on the first cast? I think we might have a fishy on the first cast. Ooh, enormous ray, look, you can barely see me behind it. Oh dear. Yeah. I mean, if I'm brutally honest, lifted in, a little bit of weight, and then to be honest, I thought, no, I lied, there's nothing on there at all. And it came in like nothing. And I'm not surprised, but it's a ray. First cast, 10 minutes in, I've come to Horton to catch rays, and I've caught a ray. Don't get picky about the size, you're all so sizeless nowadays. God. Sandy goodness on the bar. Get it out there. Right, let's have a quick look at the menu tonight. Nice and simple as always. I have sandals, I have squid, because I never leave home without it. But I've got these fellas. Don't think I've mentioned these in my videos yet, have I? If I have, then feel free to fast forward the next 5 minutes. Go on then. In the comments, prizes. Oh, I said prizes, now I'm going to come up with a prize. Free cup of coffee. For anybody who can tell me what this fish is, okay? It's a long silvery fish. I'm going to give it away a little bit by attempting to open its mouth. Open your mouth. Look at that. That is a crazy mouth for a crazy little fish. Hello. What am I? Okay, right, so there you go. In the comments, what is this fish? Other than a really good bait. Oh, that was so cheesy. Right, so I'm going to demonstrate how I prepare this mystery fish. The answers will be in the comments, don't worry. It's longer than a sprat, longer than my average sand eel there, of which I always chop up anyway. So the first thing I'm going to do is lop the head off, lop the tail off, so I've got a chunk. Now with the sprat, I cut it down lengthways as well, didn't I? But I'm going to treat this slightly differently, okay? So I'm going to take the fillet off. If you have a decent pair of scissors, this should be a piece of cake. So slit along the back there, slit along the belly, and cut along the spine. Voila! There we go. So we've got a boneless fillet and the fillet with the bone in, of which I shall remove shortly. But I'm going to deal with this fillet first because this is the one we're going to use as bait. So that is a beautiful, oily, bloody, wonderful smelling bait. It's a clue here. I'd put it on pizzas. No, it's not pineapple. Come on, people. Pay attention. Right, so we're going to be using the bait tool, the fillet of mystery fish, some Baitex elastic, and my hook, obviously. I'm going to start with the tool. I'm actually going to wrap this, so there's two ways I could do it. I could wrap it so the skin is on the outside, but I really like with things like this to wrap it so the skin is on the inside, okay? Don't know how well this is going to come out at night. So it's going to sort of look like this. So all that flesh and the blood and the oil and all that oozing goodness that Italians hate so much is... oh no, Italians like these on pizzas. They hate pineapple on pizza, sorry. Sorry, Italians. Anyway, I've digressed slightly there, haven't I? I'm going to lay the bait tool along the skin side of that fillet. I'm going to lay my hook along the skin side of that fillet. And I'm going to pick up my elastic and start whipping. He says. And as I do so, the fillet will naturally start to fold around the tool and the hook. So I'm going to go nice and slow and steady, full length of that fillet. Take your time in the bait presentation, it's so important. Once I got to the end, about a 45-degree angle, I'm going to go back the other way. Right, so, snap it off, slide out your tool, hook in top panel if you're using it, and there we go. That's a nice, thin, streamlined, super gooey, lovely fish attracting bait, that is. Okay, for those of you who haven't figured out, it's an anchovy. Anchovies. Get these fellas from Riot Baits, they're brilliant. One thing I'm quite impressed with is actually how firm that is. When you get to these fish, you think, oh, they're going to be really soft and mushy out the pack, and even sort of like feeling it now and thinking, oh, it's going to be awful. But actually, once you fillet it and start whipping it up, that's really firm and solid. I'm quite impressed with that. You can obviously whip a bit of squid along it as well. Here's another one on the other rig I've just done. Very streamlined, it's going to cast really well. Loads of oil, I can feel the oil all over my fingers now. That is going to catch fish, I'm convinced of it. There we go. Don't put them on your pieces, stick them on your hook, catch a fish. Oh, that one feels a bit better. Second cast on my Syria. And I'm into another fish. I did have a cast in between these two on my other rod that resulted in nothing, but yeah, I thought I felt it not actually, but I mean, it only has to be about a pound to be bigger than my last one, so we shall see. Could even be a doggy. Really? And there was me saying it's bigger than the last one. Oh, I'll edit that bit out, obviously. Let me just rewind slightly. Ah, yeah, fish about the same size as the last one. What is with these tiny things? I mean, they're cute. It's a ray. I glued them both together. They've not gone a pound, but they won't. 2 rays and 2 casts on this one. Okay, guys, I am genuinely embarrassed by that. And honestly, when I first lifted into it, I honestly thought I felt a couple of sort of pull thuds, like a better sized ray. And then this thing. Anyway, that was embarrassing. Thankfully, very next cast, I have redeemed myself. Oh yes. It's still raining and horrible. Hence the hiding in the shed. I have redeemed myself. Look at this. Look at it. Look at it and marvel. That's a whiting. Almost. Barely even a bait-sized whiting. But there we go. I could say, there you go, that's proof that anchovy works. So if you want to catch enormous whiting, then use anchovies. Ray number 3 in the bag. And they are getting considerably bigger. This one's not even far off being sizable. Look at it. Massive. What did I catch that one on? Ah, there you go, pilchard again. This pilchard is slaying the enormous fish tonight. Well, there we go. So we're 2 hours in. We've had 3 rays and a whiting for a grand total of £1 2 ounces, approximately. Munched that to death, didn't they? There we go. Amazing. Right, I shall let you all worship at the altar of my brilliance whilst I slip this fella back. I'm keeping quiet. I'm not saying anything. Ah. Well, it's not a tiny ray, but it's not much better. Ah, I shouldn't moan, should I? First doggy of the evening. Just on the ebb. Tide just started ebbing. I picked up my first woofer. Interesting pattern woofer. Okay, another fish. Well, this is mildly exciting. That doggy I just caught, which I said was interestingly marked, went to unhook it, and depending on how good this comes out on camera, I don't know how good that comes out. Can you see those nose flaps? That's a bull Huss. That is a little baby bull Huss. Now, interestingly, and you can all laugh at me, that's fine, that's my PB bull Huss. I've never actually caught a bull Huss off the shore. Until today. This is exciting. It's like a species in miniature session, but that is, I've actually now caught a bull Huss. I can tick that box. There it is. I'm not even going to bother weighing it, but it's my PB. Amazing. I've got a bull Huss. Wow. The tide is ebbing quite strongly now, so we've got a lovely bit of flow out there. Which seems to have brought the fish onto the feed. Both rods going consistently now. I can't believe I caught a bull Huss. All those years of fishing. Wow. Tiny dogfish that time. Look at the size of it. Everything's tiny today. Tiny rays, tiny bull huss, tiny whiting, tiny dogfish. Is there anything decent out there? I don't know if you're going to be able to sort of see the difference in the nasal flaps. I don't know how well this is coming out between a doggy and a bull huss, but there is no doubt in my mind that other one was a bull. This is the most brutally unfair part about short evening sessions on a school night. I endured 3 hours of wind and rain. And just as it's getting to the stage where I really need to pack up and go home, otherwise I'm going to be really late and grumpy tomorrow, the wind has stopped, the rain has stopped, the fish are feeding like mad. I've just had 4 dogs and as many casts. Oh, 3 dogs and a bull huss, don't forget my PB bull huss. I don't want to go home. I can stay here for another hour or so, but I'm going to have to wrap it up. I'm going to make these my last casts. I've got a fish biting on this one, guaranteed it's a dogfish. And that one's not done anything yet, but it's only been out for about 5 minutes. If it's not a dogfish, if it's anything vaguely interesting, I'll come back and show you. If not, that's been a really enjoyable evening. So glad to actually get a few fish. I've had very few casts tonight without a fish. Weird session, like kindergarten fishing, isn't it? Even the dogs were small, the rays were tiny, my whiting was minuscule, the bull huss was tiny. But hey, it's fishing and it's just catching fish. We went through, 6 or so weeks, didn't we? Sort of February and just touching March, where it was so hard. Fishing was hard. It was freezing cold, it was high pressure, it was clear seas and that sort of thing. So to come out in eventually nice conditions and just catch a load of fish has been thoroughly, thoroughly enjoyable. That's renewed my enthusiasm. Right, until next time, guys. Ciao for now.